One thing that a lot of Weibo users love to do is compare various aspects of America with China, especially military capabilities. Now, there's no way that China can compete with the U.S. in terms of military prowess right now, but military spending is something that they can compare with. And not only is it a way for political analysts to gauge what the country is planning to do in terms of diplomatic relations, but also how it plans to govern the country internally. According to Reuters, most analysts expected that China's new military budget will continue the long-term trend of double-digit percentage increases as it pays for deployment and new hardware in its patrol of contested waters. The Chinese Navy is currently the second largest navy in terms of raw fleet numbers, and alongside missions to assert sovereignty over disputed territory, the Chinese Navy is also deploying naval flotillas to the Gulf of Aden and contributing to UN-authorized anti-piracy operations in the waters off Somalia. Now, while Beijing last year announced an 11.2% increase in military spending to $106 billion, many foreign military analysts, like analysts from the Pentagon, believe that much of China's military spending is not included in the published budget. The Pentagon estimated that Beijing spent around $120 to $180 billion in 2012. Now, how do Weibo users feel about China increasing its military budget? Let's take a look at some comments.
I think military spending should be calculated based on how much we spend per square kilometer of our land. Big countries with large land mass would require a bigger budget. The problem with comparing military spending is that different countries use their budget on different things. Some use it on research and development, while other countries might use it to feed their troops. I think military budgets are all very secretive. Being secretive is a way to make something seem more powerful. I think China should show off its military to the world, let the whole world learn of China's military capabilities, and at the same time present it in a positive light. Some people say that China's military is poor. Well, this is a good way to show them the truth. Look at how much we are investing in our military. During the entire decade of the 90s, we only built 2 warships, but from 2000 to 2006, we built 167 warships. The Japanese will not be able to keep up.
China may be flexing its muscles with increased military spendings, but it's also paying even more to keep the country harmonious. Also, according to Reuters, China's military expenditures for 2013 increased by 10.7% to 740 billion yuan, or roughly $119 billion. However, the budget for China's domestic security increased by 8.7% to 796 billion yuan, which makes it $4.4 billion larger, highlighting Beijing's concern about internal threats. Historically, China had been much more susceptible to internal unrest than external conquest. And in recent years, the number of mass incidents recorded by the Chinese government grew from 8,700 in 1993 to about 90,000 in 2010. And also, according to Reuters, the numbers are backed by government studies, and it's believed that the numbers in the last couple of years could be even higher. Official data for the last 2 years, however, has not been released. Now, even though China's military spending still pales in comparison to the $534 billion Pentagon budget, it is vastly more than the military budget of China's surrounding neighbors. And as far as this particular Weibo post goes, it seems that most commenters felt that China should increase its military spending even further. Let's check out some more comments.
Our military spending should increase to 3.3% of the country's GDP and at the same time fight against military corruption. Our spending is still low compared to the United States. We should spend more to strengthen our military. I'm all for increasing the military budget, but I think what's more important is fighting against corruption in the military. If we're spending the money, then we better get the most of it. Our technology must catch up to European countries. That is a whole lot of money. It should be spent more efficiently on military matters and not pay for alcohol and parties. A stronger military is a must. A country must protect its own interests.
However, despite China's ballooning military and internal security budget, senior political and military officials complain of rampant corruption and wastes in the massive 2.3 billion strong People's Liberation Army. The PLA headquarters has issued new rules to tighten spending across a range of areas, including construction, conferences, and reception. According to Xinhua News, the rules are intended to redirect spending towards combat readiness, high-tech weaponry, and training. In other words, a little more discipline would be nice.